Today, we're going to talk about one of those bumps in the road, actually a very big bump in the road. At least when you ask Scrum teams, that's a very big bump in the road. And I'm talking about the last day of the sprint. You're probably asking yourself, what can be so bad about the last day of the sprint? If you ask the teams, they're going to tell you there's too much to do in the last day of the sprint. While teams are maturing in their craft, in our case, Agile adoption, Scrum in particular, they have a tendency to bring large items into the sprint. The problem with large items, as we already discussed, is they don't flow very well. They also add a lot of risk. When you bring big things into execution, you may not be able to complete the execution, to complete that item during the time box that you allocated, in our case, 2 weeks. And it gets compounded by having multiple large items. So that's going to increase the probability of getting to the last day of the sprint, or even close to the last day of the sprint, with many things that are not really done. And then we create the mad dash to get them all completed because the sprint is ending. So how can we prevent that? Well, the easiest way is to invest more time in refinement and to break down items so they're much smaller. We all know that small items flow faster to the system and large items do not. Another thing is, if you break down items, make sure that you break down all of them and have as little variability in size as possible as to minimize risk, because otherwise you may have a large item and several smaller ones, but that large item still has the probability of going all the way to the end of the sprint and causing that so-called mad dash to get it completed. So breaking down items is key, but there are other things that we should consider. Even when you have small items, odds are that you may still have that mad dash. And you're asking me, well, how is that? You just told me that small items flow faster. Yes, but we also have to think about collaboration and cooperation to get those items complete. Swarming is a great practice, or even pairing. Anything that can put more people working on an item yields that item flowing faster through the system. Many times people are resistant to working together in a single item. I usually get that too many people working on something, or even two people working on something, means they're going to step on each other's toes. Well, that's not really true. And usually I tell people that is a symptom that your processes and your practices are not very good. Not only breaking down backlog items into smaller ones, ensuring that they have less size variability between them, but collaboration in executing the item, in creating the item, in developing the item. By the way, when I say developing, I mean everything. Developing, testing, etc., etc. All of those things prevent the mad dash because you are going to complete things faster, sometimes even on a daily basis, which is great. It's also great for team morale because you can say, hey, we got something done. And that's the key. Instead of, oh, we're still working on it, we're still working on it, we're still working on it. That's a symptom that's too big. And there's the psychological factor that when you complete things often, there is that sense we're getting stuff done. We are getting closer to the sprint goal. Another thing about working together is the ability to learn from other people, to teach other people. When you work together, you learn a lot faster. And there are different points of view that you can consider when attacking that item to get it complete. I could go on with other more in-depth technical considerations, but for the purpose of this video, think about this. The thing that brings the dread to the last day of the sprint comes often from bringing large items, from working siloed in an item, and not learning, teaching, collaborating, and cooperating with each other. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time.